Hi, welcome to Reset and Transformation U. We are in week 3. Can you believe it?
Oh my God, it's flying by.
I just can't even believe it. It's like
we just started.
Yeah, we just started.
Which is a good point because it's not too late for you to join us. So if you haven't started your online training with us, now's a good time to start, right?
Yes, definitely. So sign on. Make sure you follow this journey with Diane Carbo. She's so courageous. She's sharing. She's just laying it all on the table. So you want to join us because you're going to learn so much with Sifu. So it's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, this week we're going to continue our journey with forgiveness.
Yes.
And I know
Part 2, forgiveness part 2.
It's part 2. We felt that the audience got so much out of it.
Yeah.
And asked so many questions, and they were just so interactive that we felt that it would be really great, for Diane to explore her forgiveness a little bit more, peel off those layers a little more, get a little deeper, get the
And forgiveness
healing
is
in.
a big topic. You know, so many people struggle with the idea of how do I forgive somebody? Do I forgive somebody? And what does that really mean when I forgive somebody, right?
Absolutely. And I think it's very confusing. And Diane made a very good point when we were speaking, back before we started. And it was, there is a difference of forgiveness than saying I'm sorry. And asking for forgiveness.
Right?
Yeah,
it's a distinction.
Distinction.
Because saying I'm sorry is like you're apologizing.
Yes.
Forgiveness is about, can we put this behind us and move forward and really move forward with our relationship or whatever we decide to do.
And let's be honest, sometimes you say I'm sorry and you don't mean it. You just do it to get through it.
Is that right, Jacqui? So you mean last week you were really saying you're sorry?
I mean, I'm just being real. Because sometimes you're I'm sorry, but you're why are they even mad at me? This is so stupid. You know what I mean?
Now you have millions of people watching going, was she really serious when she said she's sorry?
Maybe, maybe not. You're never going to know. So let's talk really quickly before we get started with Diane and her story of forgiveness. So to really heal, you must forgive.
Right.
We did talk about that last week, but it's so important to talk about it again. You must forgive yourself, you must forgive others, and you must ask for forgiveness as well.
Right.
That is, I think, when you really are growing.
Absolutely.
In your healing.
And it's my belief that the most important person to forgive is yourself.
Yes.
Because you don't want, a lot of the anger, resentment, and guilt that you hold on to is really about you. It's not necessarily about anybody else. And so many times in our life we've made mistakes and we just, carry it like, oh, I'm so this or I'm so that. And we just beat ourselves up over it. Really.
And it's the song. The song keeps playing over and over, and the song gets longer and longer, and it gets much more complicated, that song, if you don't forgive yourself. Because at the end of the day, like I say in my book, forgiveness equals freedom.
That's right. And the name of your book is?
Reset. And it's coming out in May 2017. Tell us about the forgiveness exercise. It was so powerful. How did you feel this week? How did you feel after? Share with the audience, because it was really hard to watch you.
I felt more energized. I felt lighter. I'm still working on a lot of forgiveness. I think the hardest thing I'm doing right now is working on myself and forgiving. I'm still a work in progress, but I feel supported, and I feel encouraged. And that's a positive.
So I have a question. You just said something very interesting, and that was, you said last week I had a long toilet paper list, and then I realized I even have more. So by going through the exercise, did that tap into other memories that you forgot?
Oh, absolutely.
Things?
Yes.
So that's why you say it's peeling off the layers.
It's peeling off the layers, and there's so many layers. There's so many things sometimes we're not consciously thinking about that we're actually carrying with us, right? And it feels heavy and it's weighted and it's weighing us down and setting you free. We're trying to set you free so you can move forward with your path. And one of the questions that actually came up this week from one of our viewers was, how does forgiveness allow somebody to transform their life? I think it's one of the most powerful aspects of transforming your life. If you think about just what you just told us, you're just putting the weights down, right?
And it's freedom to move forward with your life in many different ways. With working with Sifu, I find that do have more that was weighing me down. We talked about, I have always felt like I have the weight of the world on my shoulders. And I have to tell you, when I was in nursing school, we learned in our psych rotation that many illnesses and diseases come from us, from stress and not forgiving, holding things in, from our personalities. Anger, rage, stress, all of those things affect us. I think that that's why I have what I call a broken back. It's not totally broken in the sense that it's been injured in any way except from a whiplash from a car accident, but I have chronic pain in my back, in my neck, and I'm sure, and many of you women will know, you carry your weight back here in our neck, that I have, it causes me to have migraines. And so I feel that my psychological, my personality and the holding in of so much and taking care of people and being the people pleaser that I am has caused me to have the illnesses and the chronic conditions.
Qigong, one of the Qigongs I shared with you, the 6 healing sounds, we talk about how these emotions, these sometimes negative emotions, are actually stored in the body, and they're stored at a cellular level. And what we want to do is on every level just clear it, you know.
Is this a normal reaction?
Yes.
To like when you're going through the forgiveness, to tap into old feelings, old memories, old people? That,
sure, it's gonna bring a lot of things up,
yeah.
But then in the end, you're gonna feel the weight just lifted off, and
I have another question too. Do you think that by you visualizing that you have a broken back and that you have the weight of the world on your shoulders, it is what we talked about last week. You physically manifested a lot of the things in your life.
Absolutely.
Because your thoughts are things.
Yes, yes.
It's amazing. Because you're proof of it.
I am
you're proof of it.
In
and
fact,
it's important for our audience.
Sifu, who had asked me when we were going through our exercise this week of the transformation, we went through the workbook process of week 3. He asked me, do I feel supported? And I was thinking, not in the moment, but in the past. And, he says, I'm going to slap you upside the head. Because he was talking about in the moment. And I was thinking. And one of the things that I want to share, if anything you get out of this program, is your personal accountability. I always say we or they. And when you start saying I terms, I feel, wow, not only is that powerful, but it really helps you as an individual focus. And Sifu has given me through this week's course, this week's session, he's made me aware how we can't change, and I've always known this, you can't change other people, you can't change what's around you, but you can change your own perspective. And these sessions are giving me the tools to utilize those, to change my feelings and to give me a different perspective.
So what do you think the first tool was that made you even aware that you were capable of doing that? It's that I am, there is the I am thing that makes people realize that they are accountable. I am available, I am good, I am healthy, I'm tired, I am sick, whatever it is. So what was that first thing where like, whoa, I am accountable and I can control how I react to things. I can't control others, but I can control me, how I react, and what I'm going to choose to do about it.
Right, and my perspective
and
on
your perspective.
Things. Yes, that changes everything.
It freed you.
Well, that was as soon as we started with the should, would, could, and then last week we talked about the thought.
Right.
the problem that exists,
Right.
right? And then the root, what is the real truth about that, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think that the moment you first took the I am out and it was we is when you start taking care of your siblings as a young girl?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes. It's I'm going to talk as a perspective of the oldest in the family.
Sure. Our audience will identify with
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm the oldest in the family. I'm the daughter. And then I have 2 siblings, 2 brothers, and then a sister that's younger than I am by 7 years. And you're always a caretaker. You're always a people pleaser. But I also lived in a family where my dad, we walked on eggshells. And it was very brutal sometimes. And you hid your feelings. You were always trying to be cool, calm, and collected and not get dad upset.
Ruffle any feathers.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that when you live like that, you carry secrets and you lose touch of who you are.
Yes.
Yeah, you really do. And it's been really hard for me. Here I am, 63 years old, and I'm still struggling. The death of my son took the wind out of my sails.
Thank you for sharing that, Diane. I mean, you've been through so much, and I just commend you. You're so courageous. You really are. You really are. And I think our audience really identifies with everything you're talking about because, again, people are ashamed to be there. Why are we doing another week of forgiveness? What do you hope to accomplish from this exercise?
Really peel back those layers and set her free. Make sure that she's put everything from the past down so that we could just concentrate on moving forward.
It was emotional last week for me, and I can tell you that although I feel better, I feel there's a lot of slights. There's a lot of I've been practicing all week. All right, I've been doing my own forgiveness exercise.
Right.
Because I think that even we feel hurt, we feel slighted, or we feel angry or agitated or something. And I've learned now to, in the moment, to say, oh, wait a minute, Diane, don't be angry or upset or whatever it is at the moment, or frustrated with your body. Just forgive yourself, forgive whatever it is, to let go of that and to move on. And I think that's for me, it's very powerful.
When you talk like that, I have a vision like in animation, because I do think in animation. And
Yeah.
I think of you with a big net, catching your thoughts, reeling them back in, discerning them, and making good decisions.
And that's really good.
Yeah.
One of the things that Sifu always does is, here's one of my thoughts. I tell my friends, I have a black cloud over me, and it's following me around. And I
The Gargamel and the Smurfs.
Yes. Anyway, this black cloud, my way of turning it into a positive, which isn't enough, and I'll tell you why later, but in a moment. But I always say, hey, there's a silver lining in there. And one of these days, that little black cloud's going to turn inside out, and it's going to sparkle.
And it did.
And it's going to bring me abundance. Well, but instead of taking it from a negative perspective of the black cloud, I'm looking at it from a perspective now of that sunshine following me.
Yeah, very good.
And I'm actually the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
You are, because you're a glitter goddess.
Yeah, I am a glitter goddess.
Exercise, Sifu. So I'll let you guys do it. Are you ready, Diane?
You ready?
Are you nervous?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. I'm not nervous like I was last week because I didn't know what it was last week. This week I'm better prepared. Yeah, I'm more comfortable. Yeah.
And for those of you at home, if you tried it last week, do it again with us this week. And we're here to support you, so reach out to us in any way that we can help you keep those messages, positive vibes and messages coming.
And don't forget, it's not too late to join. Go to Sifu Karl Romain's public fan page. You can sign up for Transformation. You get there and be on the journey with us. So now we're going to go to Diane's forgiveness lesson.
I've been asked to do the forgiveness exercise for the second week in a row. And because I tattled on myself and said, I had a toilet paper roll of people that I needed to forgive. And when you start opening up and doing the layers, you find that you have so many slights and things that you know you have to forgive. So I'm going to start my first step by once again starting with the military medical delivery system. I need to forgive the physicians. I need to forgive the staff. I need to forgive the bureaucracy. And I need to forgive our government for the poor or substandard care that they provided for my son that caused him eventually and led to his suicide. So that's the first step. This is a hard one. I need to forgive Jeff's girlfriend, my son's girlfriend. She broke his heart and told him that she didn't want to end up with a man in a wheelchair. He wasn't in a wheelchair. I don't know if he'd ever gotten one, would have gotten into one, but it was an excuse, and it contributed. It didn't cause his suicide, but it did contribute to his feelings of helplessness and hopelessness. My next step to forgiveness is a business partner. After my son's death, I lost focus. I allowed people to take advantage of me, and I have to forgive my business partner, Donahue, for I need to forgive Donahue for his inability to be a good team player and work with me. I need to forgive next my friend Fiona for taking advantage of me and taking advantage of my good nature and my generous nature. I just did a powerful exercise, a mirror exercise with Sifu, and on somebody I'm having a very difficult time forgiving. And wow. It's brought up a lot of emotions, but once again, he's made me aware of a different perspective, a perspective from the other person's point of view. Powerful. When you look at that instead, and you're looking at it from their eyes, their pain, their ego, you get a sense of what they feel, and you actually soften. It makes it easier to forgive them. Wow. This has been really hard for me because I've had so much anger and rage for a long time for this individual, and I thought I had done forgiving, but this exercise, this another peeling of the onion, has made me aware that we've gone deeper. The exercises that Sifu continues to present to me makes me aware that I have work, but I think at this moment I feel much. I feel like a burden has been lifted in regards to this person.
Thank you for sharing that, Diane. I mean, you've been through so much, and I just commend you. You're so courageous. You know, you really are. You really are. And I think our audience really identifies with everything you're talking about because, again, people are ashamed to. Next week, we're going to explore the next phase after forgiveness. Will you talk about that a little bit? That's going to bridge Diane to, you know, walk over that moment.
Well, again, you know, the thing about coaching is that we're not so focused on the past, right? There's a little bit of stuff that we had to clear up, but now that we've cleared that up, we're going to be focusing more on where do you want to go? Where do you want to be? What's happening in the different 6 areas? Because there's some homework that you have that I know that you've been working on, and we're going to share with them some of your successes and the things that have been happening and how you've been moving literally forward with your life.
Yes.
I would like to just share one thought before we wrap up. I want you to remember, I think with this whole forgiveness thing, we, like you said earlier, you lose yourself in it all. So I want you to remember, you are enough, Diane. You're enough, Sifu. You're enough. We're all more than enough. We don't feel that we are, but we are more than enough. And you always have been, you always will be. And whoever told you that you weren't, it's because they're transmitting their negative feelings about themselves on you.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with you. They're pushing it on you because that's how they feel about themselves. So just stop it, stop believing it, because that's part of forgiveness too. Forgiving them for even throwing that on you, but you got to forgive yourself for believing it. And once you do, you have that power again. So then you can start believing in the greatness of you. And that's what this is all about. We want you to believe in the greatness of you, so make sure to join us, reset your life, transform you, because you deserve it. Thank you for watching. This is amazing. See you next week.